You know, sometimes the internet feels like this giant, sprawling conspiracy board, right? With all these red strings connecting things that just should not be connected. Well, today we're grabbing one of those strings and we're going to pull on it hard. We're about to unravel a really, really bizarre digital mystery.
Okay, just take a look at this. On one side, you've got what looks like a top-secret document about dimensional physics from something called the Space Kitten Cult. Weird, right? And then on the other side, a rambling, super personal 4chan post about envy, identity, and a female Jesus who shows up and brings dinner. I mean, how on earth could these two things possibly be related? That's the puzzle we are going to piece together today.
So, to even begin to solve this, our journey starts with two totally different ideas of what identity even is: the pillar and the brand. One is this abstract, unmovable concept, and the other? It's brutally physical and very, very permanent. This right here, this is the core claim from our mystery poster on 4chan. They call themselves a nobody, completely anonymous, but at the same time, they're an unmovable pillar with a diamond heart. Something permanent, something pure, something indestructible. It's a wild paradox, isn't it? To be absolutely nothing and absolutely everything all at once.
Okay, now let's just do a complete 180. Let's shift from that digital, kind of metaphysical idea to something intensely physical. Because for thousands of years, identity wasn't abstract at all. It was literally seared into flesh. A brand is the exact opposite of being a nobody. It's a painful, permanent mark of ownership and identity that you can never, ever escape.
And to understand the brand, we actually have to leave the anonymous boards of the internet entirely. We're going to travel to a very real place, with traditions that go back thousands of years, the island of Sardinia.
To really get Sardinia, you first have to understand the sheer scale of its most important tradition. Get this, the island is home to 3 million sheep. That's nearly double its human population. This isn't just some industry, it is the cultural and economic backbone of the entire place. A world literally built around shepherds and their flocks. And these roots, they run so deep that they schedule life itself. I mean, back in the 19th century, even marriages followed the rhythms of the land. As you can see here, shepherds got married in the summer and autumn. Farmers, on the other hand, got married in autumn and winter. The entire rhythm of your life was dictated by your work.
So in a world where a brand is everything, the ultimate crime isn't just stealing, it's something else entirely. It's tresinare. It means to alter a brand, to cunningly rewrite an animal's identity to claim it as your own. It's an act of pure deception. You're going to want to remember that word.
All right, so we've set the stage in this ancient, very physical world of Sardinian shepherds. Now, get ready, because we're about to see that world collide head-on with the modern, anonymous world of 4chan.
This is the big question, isn't it? We've got shepherds, branding, ancient traditions on one side, and this self-proclaimed digital prophet on the other. What in the world could be the bridge between these two completely different worlds? This right here is the bridge. The very same user calling themselves nobody, the unmovable pillar, suddenly drops this incredibly detailed description of a secret Sardinian folk ritual. It's called Simbastura, a ritual that for generations was something you didn't even whisper about in broad daylight. So Simbasciadora was a type of folk magic, a really dangerous ritual to bind someone's will to yours. It happened in a cemetery, at night, where the line between the living and the dead was super thin, and notice this detail, it was often performed at an unmarked grave, a place for a nobody. The souls of those who died young or violently were thought to be available, closer to human pain. The whole thing was just shrouded in secrecy and fear. Okay, so with that creepy connection now established, let's take a look at the digital folklore our nobody was actually trying to create. Welcome to the world of the nobody general. So what the heck is a nobody general? Well, it's basically this long-running thread on 4chan's paranormal board, /X. It's all dedicated to finding or just talking about the nobody, a prophesied, seemingly ordinary person who is secretly destined to, change the world. It's pretty much a search for a messiah in all the digital chaos.
And this is our poster's grand revelation. Within this whole tradition, they claim to have met the savior, the one who's going to end the cycle. And their vision just flips everything on its head. Jesus is a woman, and she came to their house for dinner. This becomes the absolute core of their personal gospel.
As you can probably imagine, the reaction was pure 4chan. Just this chaotic mess of people sincerely believing this was a true revelation, others trolling their heart out, some even role-playing as demons to test this new prophet, and yeah, a whole lot of people just being completely and utterly confused. This is modern myth-making happening in real time. It's messy, it's contradictory, and it's absolutely fascinating.
So, in the middle of all this prophetic chaos, the original poster drops something completely unexpected. It's a story within the story, a classic children's poem that they use as a really dark parable.
They post the entire poem of The Walrus and the Carpenter by Lewis Carroll, and it starts out as this really charming invitation from two charismatic characters to a group of young, naive oysters. You know, just a promise of a pleasant walk and a pleasant talk. Sounds nice, right?
But the poem ends in tragedy. The walrus and the carpenter, after luring these oysters away with all this false kindness and fake tears, they eat every single one of them. It's this chilling parable about spiritual predators who deceive the innocent and literally consume their followers.
But then, in another thread, a new story pops up. A complete reversal, an act of rebellion from the very bottom of the food chain. See, in this new telling, the victims fight back. The oysters, the ones who were supposed to be dinner, they turn on their predator. The whole script just gets flipped.
So where does this leave us? I mean, we've got Sardinian branding, secret rituals at unmarked graves, digital prophets, a parable about predatory walruses, and vengeful oysters. Let's try and tie this whole crazy thing together.
What we're really witnessing here is a modern myth being born right before our eyes. You have these ancient ideas about identity and deception and magic finding a totally new life online. That struggle between having a fixed, branded identity and being an anonymous nobody is playing out in real time. The search for a savior? That's as old as humanity, but now it's happening on anonymous forums. And at the heart of it all is the power of stories. Stories that can lure you to your doom, or stories that can empower you to fight back.
You know, in the end, this whole mystery might not be about finding the real nobody or decoding some secret truth. Maybe the lesson from the shepherds and the mystics, and yeah, even the oysters, is way simpler. In a world that's just full of charismatic walruses telling you what to believe, maybe the most important thing isn't choosing the right story to follow, but recognizing which story is trying to eat you and refusing to become the meal.